They sold 75 million records worldwide. They played to 250,000 people for over 2 nights in what was, at that time, the biggest single band concert run in UK history. They were hailed as a voice of a generation, often compared to the Beatles. But forget the Union Jack guitars, the stadium anthems for a minute. Peel back the swagger, and what you'll find is a band fueled not by brotherly love, but by relentless animosity, substance abuse, and unchecked rage. This is the Long Island Sound Podcast, and today we're going to do a deep dive into Oasis, the band whose brilliance was only matched by its toxicity. By 1995, Oasis had gone from a crossover indie act to a global rock phenomenon, thanks to their second album, What's the Story? Morning Glory. But the rise was inextricably linked to one of the most toxic, media-fueled rivalries in music history, the Battle of Britpop. Oasis, the northern working-class rock saviors, were pitted against Blur, the southern middle-class art school trendies. The chart war peaked in August 1995 when the bands released singles on the same day. Oasis's Roll With It against Blur's Country House. Blur won that chart battle, outselling Roll With It by 54,000 copies. Now, chart rivalry is fun, but Noel Gallagher took the feud into truly dark territory. In September 1995, he said that he hoped Blur's Damon Albarn and Alex James would catch AIDS and died if I fucking hate them too. Yeah, he said that. Noel later recanted, claiming AIDS was no laughing matter, and issued an apology after the controversy exploded, confessing, "My whole world came crashing down in on me then." But this level of aggressive, unfiltered hatred was a feature, not a bug, of the Gallagher brand. Noel summed up their aesthetic at the time perfectly. While their debut Definitely Maybe was about dreaming of being a pop star, Morning Glory was about actually being a pop star in a band. And being a pop star, for the Gallaghers, meant excess, confidence, and constant combat. Ask yourself, was that genuine conflict or calculated promotion? Drop a comment below and tell us what you think. And while you're down there, why don't you hit the subscribe button too? The relationship between Liam, the charismatic but volatile frontman, and Noel, the meticulous songwriter and de facto leader, was defined by physical fights almost from the beginning. The first major public sign came during their first U.S. tour in 1994. While performing in Los Angeles, Liam, reportedly intoxicated, gave an inept performance and made offensive remarks about American audiences. It culminated when Liam hit Noel with a tambourine. Upset by the escalating chaos, Noel temporarily quit the band, flew to San Francisco, and eventually hid out in Las Vegas. That incident actually inspired the song Talk Tonight. But even that was mild compared to what happened during the recording of their masterpiece, What's the Story? Morning Glory. In May 1995, they were recording at Rockfield Studios in Wales. The process was fraught with friction. Noel imposed strict rules, often clashing with Liam's more carefree approach. In what has since become rock folklore, tensions boiled over when Liam brought a group of non-working friends to the studio. Noel's reaction? He reportedly hit Liam over the head with a cricket bat. Later in 2000, during the tour stop in Barcelona, their relationship hit a new low. After drinking heavily, Liam allegedly questioned the legitimacy of Noel's daughter, Ananias. Noel immediately responded by punching Liam, splitting his lip. Noel then walked out of the tour, leaving the rest of the band to drag themselves through Europe. Noel stated years later, in 2005, that he had never forgiven Liam because Liam had never apologized for that comment. These weren't just spats. They were foundational to the band's identity. As Noel once said of his brother, "He's like a man with a fork in a world of soup." The toxicity wasn't just physical or verbal. Some critics argue it was built right into the music itself. Take Morning Glory. While retrospectively hailed as an all-time great, It wasn't universally loved initially. Mainstream critics gave it a lukewarm review, often deeming it inferior to their debut, Definitely Maybe. Many pointed to the banal lyrics and compositions that felt like music hand me downs, noting similarities to artists ranging from Gary Glitter to the Beatles. But the real secret lurking beneath the surface of the album's massive sound is its production. Morning Glory is often cited by journalists as the album responsible for initiating the notorious loudness war in music. Producer Owen Morris employed intense use of compression, a technique called brick wall mastering. The result? The songs were especially loud. Journalist Nick Southall commented that if there's a jump the shark moment for CD mastering, it's probably Oasis. This aggressive manipulation, while giving the music its pseudo live quality, was leagues beyond what other albums had attempted up to that point. If Morning Glory was technically abrasive, their third album, Be Here Now in 1997, was simply bloated, a product of their rampant hedonism. The album was the fastest selling in the UK chart at the time, but the rapid reversal of critical opinion was astounding. Critics quickly reframed it as disappointing and sometimes even a disaster. The reason, according to Noel himself, the sound of 5 men in a studio on coke, not given a you know what. The journalist described the album as being flattened by the cocaine panzers. Despite the overwhelming hype and sales, the songs were overproduced and often too long. Noel himself expressed profound regret, saying he only realized that on tour. It doesn't fucking stand up. The years of internal conflict didn't just break Noel and Liam. They took a toll on almost everybody around them. Over the band's lifespan, the Gallagher feud created casualties, including 3 drummers, a guitarist, and a bassist. Drummer Tony McCarroll was ousted in 1995, with Noel claiming he wouldn't be able to drum the new songs. Bassist Paul McGuigan walked out in 1995, citing nervous exhaustion. The chaotic atmosphere even caused his brief replacement, Scott McLeod, to quit halfway through an American promotional tour, unable to adapt to the frenetic celebrity lifestyle. The most famous members outside of the brothers, founding guitarist Paul Bonehead Arthurs and McGuigan, both left abruptly in 1999. Noel later claimed Arthur's departure was prompted by repeated violations of a no drink or drugs policy he had imposed on the recording sessions. The band miraculously stumbled on for another decade through various lineup changes. Noel stayed, driven partly by his creative control and ambition, realizing at 30 in 1997 a solo career might have failed. But in 2009, he was exhausted. He possibly was suffering from a lower threshold for conflict after sustaining 3 broken ribs in 2008 when a man ran on stage and attacked him during a gig in Toronto. The final straw came on the 28th of August in 2009, backstage at the Rock Insane Festival near Paris. The argument that night was reportedly triggered by a disagreement over an ad over Liam's clothing line, Pretty Green, in the festival program. It escalated quickly. Liam allegedly came into the dressing room wielding one of Noel's guitars like an axe and proceeded to smash it. That night, Noel had enough. He quit, stating he simply could not work with Liam for a day longer, citing verbal and violent intimidation as intolerable. Oasis, one of Britain's most successful bands, was finished. The split was dramatic, and the bad blood continued for years. In 2011, Liam even sued Noel for libel after Noel claimed a gig was canceled due to Liam's hangover rather than laryngitis. But now, 15 years later, the impossible has happened. Oasis is back. They announced a reunion in August 2024, promising the last time around. Despite the band's co-manager claiming the reunion would be the final run with no plans for new music. Liam has since disputed this, cryptically teasing fans online. I'm not actually, as I know things you don't know about the tour potentially extending. Noel, despite his past pain, seems genuinely thrilled, stating that he was blown away by the reunion reception and that it was great being back in a band with Liam. It's an endlessly fascinating story of creation and self-destruction, one that defined an entire era of rock music. Hey, next time on the Long Island Sound, we dive deeper into the music and the legend with someone who truly understands the brilliant beneath the chaos. My good friend, singer-songwriter and massive Oasis superfan, Pete Mancini, who has his own great works. You got to check out American Equator's album. Make sure you don't miss that interview. Hey, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let me ask you this. What's the edgiest piece of Oasis drama we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Okay, until next time, as I say, be generous with your joy. Tame down the anger. Keep your spirits high and let the music take you on a journey. Be well, everyone.